Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Salaat101, which is a program specifically designed to teach new Muslims how to do the Salat, more commonly known as the prayer, the 5 times a day ritual worship that all Muslims do. Now, learning the Salat can be one of the most daunting and overwhelming things for a new Muslim. From my experience, what I've seen is when somebody becomes Muslim, all the other Muslim around them become completely excited, lose their mind, dump a pile of books on the new Muslim, including sometimes 2 or 3 books about how to do the Salat. Now, these books are all good and very helpful. The problem is, a lot of times they're just simply too detailed, and many times there's not accompanying audio to go with them. The problem with that is that Arabic has some very unique sounds which are not there in the English language and are pretty difficult for a new Muslim to pronounce. A lot of people who've learned Salat by just following the books sometimes end up learning the Salat with the wrong pronunciation. And because we practice the Salat so many times a day, these errors then get fixed. And I've known some brothers who've had these errors stuck now for 5 and 6 years and they're just not able to get rid of them. The other problem with some of these books is that the Salat in them is just too detailed, while the bare minimum that you need to know to do a complete Salat is actually quite less than what these books represent. So what we are trying to inshallah achieve with this audio series is to teach the bare minimum Salat that a new Muslim needs to know to start praying, using audio tracks both for learning and for practicing, along with some handouts which will be transliteration, as well as some visual guides to see the motions of the Salat, while at the same time keeping a consistent transliteration scheme throughout this exercise. Now let me stress here, this is not supposed to be an alternative to learning how to read the Arabic language. This is just so that a new Muslim can start praying quickly and learn the Salat in a timely fashion. Because for his or her growth as a new Muslim, the best tool that a new Muslim can acquire is to learn how to read the Arabic language. Not only will that help them in doing the Salat better, but also in reading the Quran in the Arabic language. Now let's talk a little bit about the audio tracks and what they're like. In this series, you'll have these introductory tracks followed by the learning tracks. The learning tracks are detailed segments which deal with one verse or one phrase out of the Salat, which is then broken down and taught by a method that we will describe later. Once that segment is learned, the student of Salat can then move on to the practice track for that segment. Inshallah, the practice tracks will be the same segment repeated slowly 3 times, and that can be then be put on a loop either on the CD or on the iPod, and one can practice with that over and over and over again until that is smoothened out. But that is going to take some time. We need to start praying immediately. So what do we do for that? Well, inshallah, we'll also record 3 separate tracks. One for the 2 rakah prayer, one for 3 rakat prayer, and the other for 4 rakat prayer. While you take your time learning the different segments of the Salat, whenever the time of the prayer comes, you can put on the appropriate track and go through the motions with the track. And if by that time you've memorized some of the prayer, you can start practicing that with the audio so that inshallah you can continue to pray while you're learning the prayer words. In the next segment, inshallah, we will talk about the different handouts that come with the audio.